misunderstandings can happen, miscommunication can happen, conflict can happen, right? How much control do you have over the situations of your life? How much of life's events happen to you as opposed to you creating those events for yourself? I don't know the answer to that. How much of life is a play, as a previous comment said, like a movie? I'm not really sure. As an individual, all you can do is interpret things on an individual level. You can conceptualize on higher planes of thought, but I would say you can only ever have like an individual experience, and so it's really tough to imagine outside of that, including trying to come to conclusions or trying to resolve a problem involving someone else. Right, let's say you have an issue with someone else, or an issue with something involved with someone else, or you want to create something, or you want to buy something, or you want to go somewhere, these types of things. Or you want to tell a story, or convey a piece of information. How can you express that to someone or an organization, or how can you put it on a piece of paper, right? How can you convey this brief glimpse of an idea of a string of information that writes itself into a story or a narrative in your mind? How can you build upon that? How can you express that to someone else in the best manner, to where they can understand it themselves as well, to the best of their ability? And ultimately there's always going to be a gap, because you're different people, and it's just a very limited experience that you have and they have. And if you've never worked on those things, or struggled to work on those things, on translating what you mean to someone else, or the other person has not experienced something similar to you in any capacity, so you can't even convey that to a level to where they can build upon that small bit of understanding they have of that thing. But it's really hard, especially if you live under a different culture and you're trying to translate that culture over to somewhere more Western, let's say. It's really hard to navigate, and a lot of people, I don't think they know how to speak about it, or if there's any point in talking about it. It's really hard to maybe grow up a certain culture in another country, right? Or just the way that they've received these pieces of chunks of information, almost like doctrine, that it's very hard to tap away from that, or even look at it from an outside perspective, right? And so when it comes to other people and conveying how they might have hurt you or wronged you, or you have wronged them or hurt them, or just in general, just trying to convey something over to another person, when they either don't care or don't have the ability to even empathize, or it's not even about me. It's not about me personally. That, like, let's say there is a person who refuses to look at a problem with me, or in your guys' life, let's say there is someone like that, 9 times out of 10 they do that with themselves, and they do that with most of the things in their life, most of the people in their life, and it's quite a shallow existence, right? But the thing is, I'm not trying to say that that I would like to fix someone else or make someone else different. That's not the point. The point is willingness. That's one thing, right? As people, there's willingness. We can feel it, and we have it ourselves. Willingness to do something, and when you feel that someone else does not have the willingness to do something, that means that they're not trying, and whatever means that means, by any means. Like, are they refusing to partake in something because they're trying to numb themselves out from the world, or numb themselves out from problems and conflict because they're probably tired of conflict in their own lives? They probably had a lot of it, and people have a lot of conflict. But I think on some level, no matter how much what you've experienced with someone or what you've experienced, there always needs to be a willingness that needs to stay there. Otherwise you live automatically and robotically. If there's no willingness, that means there's no desire in the now, and a desire to want to be something bigger than you already are, including your relationship with someone, right? There always needs to be a building upon. But what can you say? You can't force things and people to build when they are spinning around in their own circus of imagination, right? There's nothing you can do, and sometimes you gotta realize that and step away from the world as well, and try and get a grip on things and grip on yourself, and do your best. That's literally all you can do. And the more you let them, let people do, let people be, let the world be, and do what you can within the gaps that you fill, that's all you can do when it comes to conflicts and misunderstandings.